everybody. Right, I'm just checking that we are live in the group. While we're waiting for everybody to come along, welcome. My name's Lisa Pearson, the Mummy Whisperer. I am a journaling fanatic. Yes, there we are. I'm a journaling fanatic and an intuitive business coach. What does an intuitive business coach mean? I know business, but I'm also really intuitive. Right, and today's post, let me expand this. Hopefully, yes, there we go. Today's free training is all about basically everything that business mums hate about social media. I have got, so far we started with 8 questions. I have got 13 questions, but for everybody watching live, please do put your questions below and I will get to them if I can. This training will stay in the Facebook group. I haven't decided how long for, possibly forever, possibly just 2 weeks. We'll see. Right, okay, so let's start from scratch, right? And let's just really set the scene. Yes, I am known for my social media. Yes, I am on social media a lot. I am a business coach. Therefore, I need to use social media because I'm not specializing in teaching people how to do business without social media. Okay. But I'm not saying that everybody has to do it. So I am definitely going to cover what you could do if you don't want to use social media at all. And you could. But there's a lot of misunderstandings here. So I want you to make your choice from a place of centeredness with no buttons being pressed about it, with no inner blocks or mental or emotional blocks being pressed about it. Make it from a place of knowledge of the business strategy and understanding of yourself and your ideal clients and your business and your inner business gut intuition. Okay, right, okay, so let's get started. I will keep an eye on the comments here. And so let me know if you're watching, and if you're watching the replay, please just put hashtag replay so I know that you watched. If you watched and this brings up questions for you, and you missed the live, then just put your question below and I will try and come and get to it. Right, first question, really good one. I am one of many coaches and healers. It is a totally saturated market. And so this person was talking about when they go into groups, you know, there's just like hundreds of people like her, and she was, okay. This is a similar theme all the way through. So I'm going to talk quite a lot about this one, and then actually some of the other ones are just following on from this. Okay. This is the reason why some of us have moved away from Facebook and Facebook groups. 100%, you're quite right. It is saturated. Since COVID and lockdown, there are also loads more people who thought that they would retrain, and they have become business coaches, VAs, healers, coaches, whatever. So where it was already a saturated market is now a massively saturated market. But social media is not just for selling. Social media, much of your social media posts should be about taking your potential clients who are either getting ready financially or getting ready in whatever way to work with you, is taking them through a journey. So that's an important thing to understand. You're not trying to make one post stand out. You're trying to actually create a journey and a conversation with your clients. And that is really, really important for you to understand. There's a subtle mind shift here. You're not trying to compete with all of those people in your one post to promote your business. You're actually trying to serve and help and bring people through on a journey. That will make you stand out, because so many people, especially in the personal development or healing world, do just post posts that are sell. I honestly don't know why. I'm not going to start blabbering on about that because I could rant. I've already ranted about it this morning. I'm not going to rant about it again. Second thing, try different groups. If you're a healer and coach and you're trying to promote yourself in a group full of lots of healers and coaches, those are not your ideal clients. Now, I did used to use groups a lot. I used to use groups for business owner mums. For me, it's got considerably more difficult because people have been getting into a place of lack and tying up the rules so that you literally can't promote yourself. So in my group, you can promote yourself. And my group has a mixture. So for the love of God, use it because you are allowed to promote yourself. Yes, I have rules. The only reason I have rules is so that my group doesn't die a death from dull, boring sales posts. All right, but follow my rules in the feature posts and you will find people in here. And also, this is a good environment and it's small, and I think that's important because we're going to talk about some other things. But it could do with growing. Bring more people in. If you invite people in, they might not be your ideal clients, but they might be the ideal clients for somebody else. This is the Business Mum Collective. Together, we can grow. Bring people in, and they may not become your client, but they could become somebody else's client, and so on. We don't need to get massive, but we just need to bring in some energy. You can't go into a Facebook group and just take a client out of it without having put something in, which I face quite a lot, but you are in the wrong groups. Find groups of people with similar interests to yourself. For instance, I love watercolors and I have met a lot of people in a watercolor group. I have made relationships and connections with them. You don't need that many clients or connections, right? And from then, automatically, the people I get on with are most likely to be the people who also have friends who would match me as a potential client. So it would be like a personal trainer being in a health and fitness group. It's going to be rammed full of personal trainers. And to be fair, groups for business mums are rammed full of business coaches and virtual assistants because they're all sitting there waiting to like literally jump on people. It's an awful environment. So find different groups. If a group is not working for you, find a different one. And for those of you who've got my combo course with my business startup and boost combo course, that's one of the things I talk about is how to choose which Facebook groups are right for you to promote yourself in. If Facebook is your primary platform, you only do engagement and organic marketing on one platform. I'm just saying that. Right. The next thing about why, it's so saturated is because initially, I'm not talking about people just starting out who are just learning their business or whatever, but further on down the line, you have to specialize. This is because then actually, from a spiritual perspective, you are going to help more people more deeply if you specialize. If so many people in here, and I'm not necessarily talking about the person who asked this question, but so many people come to me and they're like, yes, but my therapy can help everybody. I don't care. I said the same thing. That's not how it works anymore online. This is not like when I worked 25 years ago and all I had to do was say, I do Reiki, and I was fully booked 2 days after my level 2. It's not like that anymore. And actually, this is a good thing. You have the world to promote yourself to. So business is a journey of personal development and growth. Where can you help people more deeply? Where can you specialize? Who are your sole contracted clients for you to work with? Specialize, and then you will stand out. Who are you? What is your USP, your unique selling proposition? What is your USP of your business? What is the USP of your services? Now, you don't have to answer that straight away like that because this is a journey of personal development. I have been on a journey. Why have you watched me over the last since 2019? So I obviously came back from the disaster of my bricks and mortar business back into business coaching. And I have developed and changed what I offer. The academy has been there. It was called a club, but the academy has been there all the way through. But what my niche has changed. It started off, it was business mums. And then it was business mums who just wanted to earn 2 to 5K a month because that's what lit my fire. Then I discovered there was a real problem with that financial numbers and who I was attracting. And it's shifted again into business mums who want to be able to work in 2 to 5 hours a day. So there's no hustle involved. So a lot of them are either really busy, they've got young kids, they've got chronic health conditions, they've got anxiety, they're empaths, they can't work more than that. So, and obviously I love journaling. So most people who come anywhere near me are like, yeah, this is good. And also it would be people who want both a business perspective, practical business perspective, but also to bring in that like intuitive viewpoint. Okay, so can you see how that has shifted since 2019? I've grown and changed and healed and developed, right? So I'm still on this first question. So it's one of many coaches and healers where the market is totally saturated and you should see the business coach thing. Yeah, actually, this I didn't write it down. Make sure you're clear on why somebody would want to come to you. Somebody would want to come to there. Do you know how many business coaches there are out there who have no idea and have no business qualifications, have never run a business, nothing, right? So something I don't do very often, but which I really should do and which you need to do as well, is highlight your levels of experience. I've been in business. I had a family business from a child. I have been in businesses in my blood. I did a business studies degree. I worked in corporate. I've owned a bricks and mortar business. I've been self-employed since 2000, right? So that's really important for you to be very clear. So one of the things in my business planner, if you've got the business planner, and anyone who hasn't got the business planner, get the business planner. Oh, I must go and change the price. One of the things that I do in the business planner, which is really, 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 really important, is make you fill out why me, why my USP. This is not a 5-minute journey. This is crucial and important, right? It's also really helpful when you have a like confidence dip. I have confidence dips and I go, why does anybody want to buy for me? Oh yeah, because I'm fabulous. Okay, right. So then you need also in here is your ideal client. Who are you trying to help? Right. You might start general, but you need to pin it down. So for instance, I can come across loads of weight loss people. Weight loss for mums? No. Because, and this is another reason why to specialize. Mums of babies are in a different situation to mums of toddlers, mums of preschoolers, mums of primary school kids, mums of secondary school kids, mums of university kids, empty nesters, mums with chronic health conditions, mums with menopausal issues, mums with it's all different. And yes, the underlying theory might be the same, but you can talk to them much more clearly if you're talking specifically to a group. It's about being less general. So I was talking I've been talking a lot about fear and of money, and I think that that's a much bigger issue for mums because we have kids to feed, right? That's different from somebody else who only has themselves to feed, right? So anyway, ask me. I haven't seen any questions. Let me know if you have got any questions. Oh, hello, Angelica. Oh, hello, lovely. Yes, I need to phone you. I have a pair of trousers to be fixed. Good reminder. Right then. So that was a really big section, right? Because a lot of that is relevant to a lot of the other questions. So yes, not everybody's on Facebook. Social media is not just about selling, it's about creating a journey. If you're in a group, you have to give to the group as well as try to get clients from it, take away from it. Find different groups, not necessarily find the groups of people with similar interests to you rather than being very specific. Be more specialized. What's your USP? What's the USP of your service? Who's your ideal client? Help people more deeply. Okay. So for example, Angelica, who's watching, is an amazing seamstress. She's really, really well known locally for the fact that she fixes things fast. When we're in terrible trouble, she has saved my skin multiple times, right? But what Angelica could do is now take that and she could take it into being really well known for creating fast prom dresses for people who forgot to buy them on time. Or she could adjust it into, remember, Angelica, we talked about those memory bears. She could adjust her business into memory bears. So you know how people like to take all the clothes of the babies and put them onto a bear, this sort of thing. Loads and loads of different things. And the more you specialize, not being funny, the more you can charge. Not for any other reason other than the fact you're giving more value. You have spent time, you have put your energy into learning something more, you're more deep. Like if you wanted to help me with my weight loss and you had learned about mast cell activation and really understood it, you would deserve, if you understood it, because I don't, if you would deserve to earn more, right? Okay, right. Second really relevant thing, people copying your ideas. So when you're in a group, and I say in here, do hashtag market research, ask people what they think. People copying your ideas. And this poor woman has had several times when she's put an idea into a group and literally the next day somebody else has acted upon it, it has appeared that someone else has acted upon it, taken the idea and run with it and basically pinched it. Right. Okay, so there's multiple things to look at here. One, again, is you're in the wrong group. You're in a group with competing people. Whereas, for example, the Businessmum Collective is a much wider, different groups of people, right? Yes, the muse can hit at the same time. I'm fascinated by the fact that I should have bloody moved on journaling years ago, and now there's a lot more people talking about journaling, all right? But and there are people, you get this, you get people who come up with business ideas and several people do it. It could be the muse. But anybody copying you will fail ultimately because they are not following that intuitive part. They're not listening to themselves. So it will fail. The only way they can beat you is on price, because you are you, and the service that you're offering is relevant to you. So they can't be you. It is also important when you're running a business. Running a business, as I said, is a journey of personal development. And these fears, these are coming up for you to heal. This is one of the reasons why you're in business. Yes, we get flexibility and all the rest of it, but one of the reasons that it is much tougher to run your own business. Now, I'm going to give you all some tough love, all of you. If you are not willing to learn business, learn the social media that you'll have to do, learn about finances, and do that personal development, then you are torturing yourselves trying to run your own business. Absolutely torturing yourselves. And you should just make it easy and step out, because you're just being so harsh on yourself. Now, this is why, again, I'm going to come back to journaling. So in the quarterly journal planner that I have released, that you can reuse at the end of each month, so to be used during the month. Where's mine? Where's January? I mean, let me show you January. Now, I have had an interesting January. So I've used more than this. I've actually used a whole other notebook. You know that I have this thing called a traveler's notebook. Okay. Thanks, Joe. So the traveler's notebook means I've got several different notebooks all in the same folder. So I have got my journal notes, but I've also got the monthly planner that I sell for you guys. And at the end of each month is a brain noise clearing bit. I needed more than that. So then you create your dream life. So once you've cleared out all the crap, you then move on and you journal through your dream life. Then I love a journal, love a doodle. Then you do some doodling. During the month and at the end of the month, you do your blessings and joy counter so that you can, and then you also do a review and reflect, right? That is really, really simple. And it is the bare minimum of what you need to expect to be doing, basically. So interestingly, we had a conversation in my business academy. I've already added, so we do weekly Q&A social media clinic, weekly Q&A clinics, and I have added a monthly social media planning clinic to make them plan their flipping social media before each month. So we've just done that. We had a great time yesterday. Yesterday. But what we've decided now is we're also going to add a journal with me hour in the middle of the month as well. It's less of a me helping and more of a sitting down, what's all our plans, right, let's journal and let's do it all together so that I can make sure that they sort their shit out. Right, let's go back to my notes. So I'm not being harsh. I understand. Do you know who stole my ideas? I've had this happen to me twice. Once was Dr. DeMartini, who is huge. Anybody of you know, he's in The Secret. He is huge, right? I was his most senior facilitator in the UK. I specialised in his relationship stuff. I was a relationship coach at the time. I specialised in his relationship stuff and his value stuff. And I had created the most amazing course, right? And as part of my master certification, we had to give him our courses that we'd created for him to review. Do you know what? You know what he did? Yes, I got my certification. Yes, he loved it. Then he made his own book based on it, his own course based on it, and then he made it part of the certification criteria that people had to attend that fucking course. So, to the person who asked, I'm not going to name you, the person who asked that question, I bloody know what you mean. Do you know, once there was a coach who I had known for a really long time, right? And she watched one of my free trainings and she wrote it down word for word in a newsletter and sent it that night. Not aware that this world is a small world and somebody who had watched that training was also getting her newsletter. And when I called her out on it, which I did, the gaslighting bullshit she tried to give me, yeah. So I do understand. People do copy. It is part of the thing. And I tell you what, having a bricks and mortar business was worse. This is a really good question, number 3. It was about being in other groups and then being influenced by their ideas and their business models, and often then being led off on a path that wasn't suitable to you. Oh God, yes. This is a huge problem with social media. And I must admit life is still really quite tough for me. When you get yourself into a difficult situation in all areas of your life, it's quite dense, right? It takes a while to get fixed. It's one of the reasons why I must admit I have come off Facebook a lot, because because of that, right? So for me, it's TikTok. I love TikTok. Sometimes you need a break and you need to remove yourself, and 100%. So it's really important. I'm going to take you back to the answer for question 1. It's really important that you regularly remind yourself who you are, and you give yourself daily times to tune into your intuition. So in the academy, we do a Monday intuitive tune-in. So yes, we do a scheduling for the week, but we do an intuitive tune-in and it's about always bringing yourself back. This is why I don't teach one strategy for anything, because there is no one strategy that will work for everybody. Okay, so it's really important that you stay aware of who you are, your life circumstances. I've been talking about this yesterday with somebody about their life circumstances and what business models they've tried and that just don't work for them. And I am very limited with my health as to which business models will work for me. And I tried it at the end of last year. I tried doing another one of those 6-week programs. I just can't. It's just not viable for me right now. And membership is what's viable for me right now, with a couple of like power hour, one-to-one kind of things. That's where I'm at. So it's really important to choose your intuition. So again, it's about being very clear. So again, if you haven't got my business planner, it's really important for you to be very clear on your map and how things flow through and the reasons why you're running your business. Make sure your strategy matches to it, and being very clear on your choices as to what you want in your life, and the priorities for you, and then making sure it all matches. You have to go through all of the strategy and go, does it match? Does all of this flow through? And watch out for that influence. Watch out for the shiny object syndrome. I've got a problem, therefore I must need to go and buy something, or I must need to go and check their strategy out. I must go and need to copy that. No, you really don't. Apart from obviously buy my stuff, but kidding, sort of. But yeah, it's something to be careful of, and it's really important from an energetic perspective to be careful of when you see someone else doing something and it's great, to be able to send them blessings and be glad for them. Yes, yeah, pretty bad that they copied my stuff. I suppose they were a bit desperate. I think, okay, so there's two things. One, DeMartini has, you often get this with American therapies, there's a control factor, and like, it's mine. It's all mine. That was my idea. She's done something great with my idea. I'm not going to let her run with that. I'm not going to give her credit for that. I'm going to have it because, yeah. And then the copying, desperation. There is a lot of desperation in business. I do think business is tough. Bricks and mortar business was horrific, I have to say. Right then. Moving on to the next question. Well, this is going to go on for a while, isn't it? I've got 13 questions. We're on to number 4. Okay, right. So this lovely lady said, I'm a private person with very little to say. And actually, I've broken it down into 2 questions. This was 2 questions. A private person with very little to say. Okay, so that is okay. Be who you are is my answer. Be inspired by other people's social media. Find what works. So I know you're very private, but you can still document your life. You can still, my computer's getting a bit noisy, I hope that's all right. You can still share testimonials. You can still share tips. And you happen to say that you loved card readings. Go with that then. You can just do that. You can absolutely do that. And if you are doing card readings, I have to say that TikTok is blinking amazing. I don't ever go on without seeing at least 3 or 4 people on a TikTok live doing card readings, and they're doing like short ones, like one-off. They're doing maybe like 1 card readings. They might be doing it for free, or they'll be doing it for like gifts, and then they're obviously promoting longer card readings. If you're happy doing card readings, do that, and yeah, just go for that. Do what you love doing. I know plenty of people who will just they'll go into like a meditative aligned place. They'll get a message from themselves, and then they'll just video themselves walking, and they'll just put the quote on there. Find a way. And this actual person, this happens to have my 3 combos. So you need to go into the TikTok course, even if you're not using TikTok, but there's a lot of ideas in there for how you could do a video without you actually having to start. And please don't compare yourselves to me, because I was an IT trainer for 2 years. I have talked for a living. B, I was a blogger, and I did a lot of vlogging and YouTube right from the beginning. I have been blabbling on and talking for years. So please be careful who you compare yourself to. And actually that goes back to the being influenced by other people. And I am going to post a really interesting 3 video story that's just been posted on TikTok by one of the huge TikTok influencers as to how she got there. And initially you think, how the hell did she go to, like, she's massive. But when you watch her life, it makes sense. It didn't just come out of nowhere. So the second part of that was private person, little to say. And surely 1,000 people have said it before. I totally understand. I've had that thought. But a bit like the fact that when I was DeMartini's, one of DeMartini's most senior facilitators, people would come to me because I was female. He was the one who created it, but he was also an arrogant one. And so people would come to me because I was female. People will come to me now because I'm female and I'm a business mum and I've got chronic health conditions and I've got a particular way about me. Some people might not want that. They would want to go to somebody else. So you need to be very clear on who you are. I even once did a thing where I actually put it out there. Why do you like working with me? And I got some really interesting responses back. So yes, 1,000 people have said it, but not you, not with your voice, not with your life, not with your energy, not with your speciality, not with your specific understanding of a specific situation, and not at that moment. So somebody, I've been offered some emotional, mental support and all the rest of it. And when the lady phoned me up and I explained what my job is, she went, I don't really see what we can do you don't already know. And I went, I don't need to know or learn anything. What I need is the ability to brainstorm and be there with somebody who can remind me. Right? And that's what you're doing. I scroll on TikTok on a bad day and a message will come up and I go, I believe in the social media gods personally. And I was like, thank you. That was the message I needed reminding about today. Yeah? So 1,000 people have said it, but that they haven't said it at that moment in your words, in the way that you do it. And if you're not sure how you're going to do it, you have to start doing it and play and practice and find which way works. Even if your social media posts, see, I love TikTok, I loved blogging, I think they are very cathartic. I believe that you find, and I will post this woman's video because you can see how the journey helped her develop herself and who she was. You are not just in business to make money. You are. I do like the idea of you making money and profit. I am a business coach. That's a huge part of it, right? But you're not just here to sell. You're not just here to make money. You are also here to develop as a human being, right? Okay. So, question 6. This was an easy one. What is the time limit? You saw me make a mistake on this yesterday. The time limit for short videos are 3 minutes on TikTok, 90 seconds on Instagram, but Instagram also allows you to have longer videos, 10 minutes or 20 minutes. 60 seconds on Facebook, so my video yesterday got cut off. But you can load a video up on Facebook. Okay, so yes, can your videos be longer? Yes, but the reason one of my courses in that combo is called How to Make TikTok or how to make videos fast as anything without being boring as hell is because until you have learned to be very concise, your point, who you're talking to, what your USP is, until you've really learned that, don't do long ones because you will be boring as hell. That's my answer for that. So yes, you'll see that I do chatty ones, right? I've done some chatty ones recently. It came to me that there was like some real things I'm doing some real healing around safety and around fear, and so there seemed to be a lot about that, so I did some chatty ones. So exactly 100% you can do with them. If you want them to go all the way across TikTok, Instagram and Facebook, then just stick to a minute. But yeah, you can 100%. And remember my advice always, if you haven't watched my description of should you have a Facebook page, a Facebook profile or a Facebook group, please go and watch that free video as well. Okay, but it's very important for you to have only one primary social media channel, and on that one primary social media channel, that's where you do your engagement and your organic marketing and your growth, and then repurpose onto one other social media channel. But on there, you're just going to repurpose, you're going to repost, and you're just going to reply to comments, but you're not going to try to grow. Okay, and if you don't know what organic marketing is, and you don't know what engaging is, and you don't know how to do that on all the different potential platforms, then you must go and buy my Business Startup Boost program, right? Because that's what I describe. I explain that in there, and it's the beginnings of learning business. Right. Next question. Next question. I put this one in. Do I need social media? No. One of the things I put into that course was an explanation of what social media would do for you. And one of the things it does for you is it enables you to not lose opportunities. It enables you can build that journey. It enables people to check you out, see if they like you, they like your vibe, if they like your values, if you're a match for them. You can do all of that sales stuff you don't like doing. That can all be done by your social media posts. I want you to consider your social media posts as your little minions running around out there doing your work for you, right? But for some people, you don't have to do social media, but you do have to do lead generation. Lead generation is creating potential clients. You do have to do that, right? So you could also write blogs. I was a blogger. Blogging was a great way to bring people in. Blogging is more saturated than Facebook groups, right? You would have to learn a lot about keywords. You would have to do research. You can't just write a blog and hope it's going to work, because it's not gonna. And you can't just write a blog and not engage in a blogging community, right? It's still not, I'm going to write something and everybody's just going to come to me. No, that's not what happens. You do graft first, and then you build the platform, and then everything comes to you. You like build the magnet, right? You can go to networking meetings. You can go to meetings which aren't networking meetings, but they're full of people who might be interested in what you do. You could go to spiritual meetings. So, for example, Soumya is doing very complex, rather than just basic healing. She's doing soul contract readings, and she does a lot of light work and light codes and so on. Right. So Soumya goes to a general spiritual get together. There's going to be a lot of people there who are interested in their spiritual development, their evolution, and therefore would be interested in finding more about their soul contracts. So that would work really, really well for her. I go to networking meetings because there are businesses there. At the moment, I mainly focus on, solopreneurs, so self-employed sole traders. But I do have a program that I'll be releasing later on at the end of the year with small companies of like 10 to 20 people or less who don't want to employ a social media agency. Right, so if you were going to work in a corporate environment, then you don't need, I would still say you have to have some basic social media, but what your actual lead generation would be to write an introductory letter that you adapt slightly and you send to companies. So for example, I was talking to a lovely healer the other day about the fact that she could approach local companies who have a well-being program and a stress program and see if they would like somebody to come in and do Reiki in the corporate environment. So her lead gen would be that. Oh, hello, lovely. Oh, you've missed. Literally, I'm just coming to the end of I've just finished your questions. But yes, do a catch up. Let me know if you've got any further questions. So no, you don't need to have social media. I would recommend that everybody has some form of social media that people can stalk them on. Right, so you could post once a week or once a month or something like that, to give a feeling for you, how you work, your values, the journey, and so on. But you'd have to do lead generation somewhere else. And just having a freebie is not lead generation on its own, right? Hold on, somebody sent a message. Where is that gone? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Right. Okay. And I know I blather on about social media a lot, but anybody in my academy knows that that's not everything to do with business, right? You can't just get your social media right and that fixes everything in your business. It doesn't. There's more to business than social media. You can't go and create your social media strategy without first having a business strategy and a marketing strategy and a personal strategy. The social media strategy comes from there. It's not the first place to start, right? Yes, I love social media and I do a lot on it, but that's not where you start. So if that's where you're starting, go back to the beginning and either get my business planner and my 3-month journal, or get the combo. The combo is going to go through marketing and social media, but it's not going to go through the rest of business. If you want help with everything, then you come into the academy and I'll teach you the rest of business. Now then, eighth question. Can I create a community without Facebook groups? Yes, you can. A lot of people have quite a little bit flippantly said to me recently, well, I think I might just give up and go and create a Facebook group. Facebook groups are not the easy place they used to be. Some people really hit on an idea that grows and it's fabulous, and but they are not the easy place that they used to be. There isn't the organic reach in them and so on. What is the new thing is the concept of being a creator, being a leader of your own community, and you can do that on your Facebook profile. If you haven't watched, as I say again, about pages, profiles and groups, your Facebook professional profile, you can do it there. You can create a community there by asking questions, engaging, posting tips, and so on. You can also I have seen people do it on TikTok, and I'm astounded by their ability to grow communities on TikTok. And they do it by using all the things that are there. They go live, they do stories, they do TikTok nows, which is like photos of what you're doing right this minute. They post very conversational posts, and then when somebody puts a question in or a comment in, they reply with a video, and it creates this conversational thing. And then you see people conversing with each other in the comments, and it creates a community. You do not have to have a Facebook group. If Facebook groups are your thing, if you're great, then that's great. But do not start a Facebook group thinking that you can just start a great Facebook group just about you, and then within there you would be able to sell your stuff. Why are people going to join it? This Facebook group, right, the Businessmum Collective, the whole point to this is to teach you to promote yourself, and allow you to promote yourself. That's why you're allowed in here. And yes, I'll give you loads and loads of freebies, but I didn't create it in order to sell in here. Yes, that's a side thing, but that's not the underlying intention, right? So you see it loads with network marketing, and somebody will create a Facebook group where they just promote their stuff. Don't bother with the group. Just do it on your personal profile in that case, because you're not creating the community there. If you wanted to, like for instance, I created a crafting community locally. There's a point to joining it. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Just let me know. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left. Can I do it in the hour? I don't think so. Okay, good question. I hate being visible. You don't have to be. 2 things. 1, as I've said, business is a journey of personal development. It is important that you start to tackle your fears, your blocks, your mental and emotional things that you have to for running a business. But you can adapt your business to work for you, right? I know plenty of really big people. There's somebody who does these lovely videos of, she lives in a beautiful place in America, and she'll just do videos of like, butterflies in her garden, or the amazing birds, that she has really unusual birds, or the river, or the something, and then she'll do a voiceover over the top of it. If you don't even like using your voice, then you can do one of you walking somewhere or sitting and looking at something, and then you can just put a quote on there. Right? It doesn't have to be you visibly like me. Find your way. And again, in that case, definitely consider the combo, because I talk about all the different kinds of videos that you could create. Don't want to do videos, some people say to me. That wasn't one of the questions actually. And I would say, I'm sorry, get over it, because we are in the era of videos, and we are in the era of short videos. And actually, I think it's a good era, because actually, I think that we can become very self-obsessed, and look at me, I'm talking for like so long, but we can become very self-obsessed, and we do posts that Nobody wants to read, they're not interested in, and there's no sense of connection. Videos make us show ourselves a lot more. And if you're in the healing development world, actually, people do need to see us. If people buy from people, and it makes it a pleasurable experience. And some form of short form video is an easier methodology for our potential clients to buy from us. I'm not saying everybody has to do it. There would be exceptions to the rule, but not many. Not many. And the good news is, though, the really good news is, though, we are past the Instagram era of perfection. Some of the most popular TikTokers, and that is feeding into Instagram and Facebook, literally go on and they are in their pajamas, they are overweight, they've got no makeup on, their hair is a mess, they're not necessarily massively attractive, and they just do something. They just say something. And one of them's lovely. She is a dinner lady. She's warm. And she has this beautiful heart. Right? And there's this other lady, yeah, who's just keeps doing these videos, like I say, overweight, not massively attractive, but her warmth, like her skin's not good, her hair's not good, none of it is Instagram worthy, right? It works. People love it. So visible, there's loads invisible. There's loads of issues invisible. You just have to work through the issues. That's your journey. Okay. And actually, right, the journey is not always quick, and this is why sometimes I recommend that people make life easy for them and get themselves a little side gig with another job that will just enable them to enjoy the journey and not panic about the money, right? Just saying that. Okay. Because it takes as long as it takes to heal. Yeah. Look at me. Right. 10. No one comments on my lives, and it seems no point to do them. Yeah, okay, but you're not doing them to get comments. That's your satisfaction. That's not the point. Have I said about this anywhere? Not yet. Okay, I will say there's your lives, the whole point about a live is it can hang around, it can be repurposed, so people will watch it afterwards. Loads and loads and loads of people watch replays, right? B, always say to them, like I said at the beginning, hashtag replay if you're watching this later, put a comment in if you're watching it now. Always say that. So I'm just saying again, anybody watching this, hashtag replay. If you have any questions I haven't answered, stick them in. Okay. So ask them to put comment in there. Do you know, I have had so many people jump into my academy when I haven't seen a single comment from them. Stop having expectations about them. I've had plenty of people. I remember one woman who is still in my academy, love you, who arrived, bought the program she jumped into 5 minutes late. I'd never seen her comment on anything. There are people who watch us. Some people are quiet. Some people just watch us in the background. Yeah? So they're not going to comment. This is a relatively small group. Loads of people. And my TikToks, I get comments from people saying, oh yeah, I love your videos. You make me laugh on the rest of it. In Aldi the other day, I'll always watch for your videos. They've never commented. They've never told me they love it. So that makes me think. Always behave. It's the whole thing. Behave as though you would like others to behave. So if you want people to comment on your stuff, you go and comment on other people's stuff. If you want people to share your stuff, you go and share other people's stuff. If you want, do that. But don't post in order to get comments. Because there's a string. Can you feel that string of attachment there? That is, for us spiritual types or creative types, that string of attachment to an outcome people can feel it and sense it, and it goes funky and it goes wrong. So right, and then the other thing is, no one's commented. Did you do some research before you did the video? Did you ask them what they needed? Did you do a poll? Notice that there's lots of comments on here already and we haven't even got to the replay, but that's because this came from people asking for it. Okay. Two, you do have, so the next thing is you do have to learn business. Okay, let me start again. Yes, I teach business and strategy. I think it's very important. If you're going to be a business owner, you have to learn business and strategy. Okay. Yes, you have to have goals. Yes, it is a business. The point is to make a profit. It's whether your destiny is 10K months or 2K months. I don't honestly think that that's important. I think you need to look inside as to which one it is, but you do have to have goals, right? The whole point is the cycle of you make profits, you can invest back into your business and invest into your life. It's an abundance cycle. But so the way that I teach people to work is you've created your strategy, you've created your goals, then you step aside from that, you get yourself aligned, and you think, what do people need to hear? What do I need to share? What have they said they need to hear? Okay. And then you share it with no strings attached. You can promote yourself. I've mentioned my combo. I've mentioned my academy. I'm going to mention them again, right? But there's no strings. I will not be upset if not a single one of you buy anything. For a start, several of the people who are watching this are current or past customers. So this is just adding an extra vision of help to them, which matters to me. I am deeply passionate about you lot, right? So step away. It's really hard. And that's why I do the aligned intuition thing every week in the thing. But it's yes, business, yes, goals. Step away, have them in your mind, but share with no attachment. Got some comments here. I can understand not wanting to be visible, but I wanted to break through this. Yes. And you know what, Sonia? Maybe you should start sharing a bit more about yourself and that sort of thing. The breaking through of the visibility. I know it's really difficult. There's a lot I can't share about my life at the moment. There's legal stuff, there's difficult stuff, there's kids watching my social media. But I think it is important to share your story a bit. Very good point about comments. It's about looking for validation. Yeah, and I do. I am the same. I mean, I do. I mean, God, the reason why I help you lot is because I want to feel useful. So right, this leads very nicely onto the next question I had from somebody else. I don't like posting on social media because it feels very sales. It feels like there's always an agenda. Yes. So don't post from that perspective. Yes, you always have a call to action. I will tell you to have a call to action, but your call to action, Sonia, this is an important one for you. Your call to action doesn't even have to be follow or comment. It can be sometimes. It's about tuning into if that's right for that video, but it can be, I'd love to know if you've experienced this. Did you experience this? Does this make sense to you? Do you disagree with me? When did this happen to you? Get conversation going. So you can always have, so in terms of it being salesy, yes, you always have a call to action, but it doesn't have to be a sales call to action. So it can be blah, 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 here's some tips. Now, if you'd like some more, I have a great freebie, go and download it. Or it can be, I was thinking about this. What do you think? Right, that's a call to action, that's a comment, that's creating, and you want to engage. What did I see the other day? I saw somebody, actually, Sonia, it was yours, I saw it today, and several people have commented about karma and said, yes, it's so much better now and all the rest of it. I would still get those people say, I would still say to those people, this is so nice to hear. Please tell me more about your journey. Get them to tell you a bit more, create conversation. So, sales. Good sales is a service. Now, this selling, I don't cover it in the combo. I do cover it in the academy. But good selling is a service, right? My car got written off before Christmas. I was stressed out of my fucking box. trying to get first time searching for a car on my own. Blah 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 blah. The guy I bought from, bloody hell, was he a good salesman? He put me. He'd lined up the three cars. He listened to me. He put me straight in the car that was right matched. That meant that when I got in the other two, I got in this car. I was like, oh yes, and I got in the other two, and they were like, oh, all right. Whereas if I'd got in them first, I probably would not have got out of them. I probably would have been fine. So it was, and I do love my car, right? I do love it. I love that it's mine, it's properly mine. But he was lovely. Of course, he's selling. He's making money. It's his business. It's a family business. But he was lovely, he was warm, he brought me into the house, I chatted to his wife, I had a really nice experience, we talked about the location, it was lovely. Sales is lovely. Really good selling is lovely. Do you know how much I love minis? And when my mini had to go and I desperately tried to buy another mini, do you know how many times the mini set that I think I tried to buy a mini 3 times? But rubbish salespeople, so unpleasant. There was no way I was going to buy a mini from them. It was too, yeah. Anyway, good sales is done by conversations and questions. Really good sales. I was in an amazing sales mastermind. This took me a lot of learning about how to sell and selling. Good sales is done by questions and conversations. They should feel glad you sold to them. Soumya, that's helpful. Oh, good, Soumya, great. Great, I'm glad that was really helpful. So, yes, I understand that social media feels salesy. I don't think that in your situation, the person who answered this question, I don't think that in your situation a group is going to fix that. I do think that what we were talking about earlier on with going to corporations will work for you. You probably need a LinkedIn profile for that, but I think you need to remember that you have run a franchise. You can do that, and therefore you can say to them, I know the stresses of running a business, and I can therefore come in and help all your people who are working in business and make them feel better, right? But I still think that just use that connection between your strategy and your goals, step away, align, share your message. Okay. Oh, my 12th question, Facebook groups. I've just covered this actually. Should I make a Facebook group? They're bloody hard work. You cannot make your Facebook group with the intention of just selling something. There are ways to do it. That is covered in the combo. There are important ways to do it. I made the mistake of having 2. You'll see that I'm shutting down my other one in February. Some people have like a natural ability. I still 100% believe that there's a connection to the energies behind social media, and I think some people are suited for Facebook groups and some people aren't. Try one, and if it doesn't grow automatically fast, then shut it down. And finally, Kelly, yes, the expectation of people. This is really interesting. I haven't had this, but she was saying that the problem is the boundaries, and that she'll get messages at like 1 a.m. and then because she hasn't replied, she'll get a question mark from somebody. Really interesting. I've not had that. I would say obviously on a page it's much easier because you can set an automated reply, and on a WhatsApp, if I was running like I've a lovely business owner who runs a dog groomers, and the WhatsApp is a business WhatsApp, and I would definitely pay for a business WhatsApp so that you can have an automated reply there. But on your personal profile, I think consider not working with those people because they sound like freaks and very high maintenance. I would go, oh, thanks for doing that. I now know I don't want to work with you. I think that's the best thing. I think it would be about clear boundaries. So if you have any buttons about the fact that it's not okay to leave people waiting or whatever, see, for some people that wouldn't be a button at all. So that takes you back to the fact that it is a journey of personal development. So that was 13 really good questions about social media. really, really good reasons as to why people hate them. And like I say, it's not, you don't have to be on social media, but you do have to do lead generation. You do have to have a strategy and a plan and goals before you use social media. You don't go, well, unless you're using social media to cathartically, and there's a lovely TikToker I'm following at the moment who is using TikTok to cathartically work out what the hell it is that he's doing. Unless that is your strategy, because you haven't got a clue as to what you're actually going to do, then you have to start at the other side. And you need to remember that in business, you wouldn't be going out and doing healing without having learned how to do it. Don't go out and do business and social media expecting yourself to be able to just pick it up by watching other people. That's actually disrespectful. It would be disrespectful for people to do healing without learning. It's disrespectful to the people who do know to not learn from them. There's plenty of free stuff out there. I'm not saying you have to pay, but I am saying that you have to learn. Otherwise, you are torturing yourselves. Absolutely torturing yourselves. So, this is in the free group. Please do, if you know anybody who wants to know more about social media or anything in there, please do invite them into the Business Mum Collective. They don't have to be mums. It's just that it's all about people who are energy low, time low, resources low, right? That's all. That's all who it is. If you are watching this and you would like some more help, just pop me a message. If you are watching this and you'd like some more help, but you know that there's no way in hell you can afford anything, put a question in the Business Mum Collective. Ask us and we will help you. There are so many people in there who have bought my programs now that it's good practice for them to answer you. Yeah, because that helps. And I will get there eventually. It's not like actually working with me, but I will help. Right, if you're thinking, oh, I do need some help, but I can't afford much, then you go and you buy my business planner, because this tells you what to put in to each section. So you go and buy the business planner and you buy the 3 month journal. All right, and that will get you into good habits and it will help you work out where all the gaps are. If you want to know how to get the ideal client and how to work on social media and how organic marketing works and how to do videos, then you buy my combo. And I've put in a payment plan of over 2 months. So that is, so the planner and the journal on its own are £25, or you can buy the combo, which gives you the planner, and that is currently £79. I don't see that changing for a while actually. It's £79, or payment plan over 2 months, £39.50. Is that right? Yeah. Or if you're like, oh God, I don't want to do this on my own. I want somebody keeping me accountable. I want somebody so that they can tell me what the answer is so I don't have to go and find it out. I want somebody to sit with me as I journal each month to make sure I work through my bullshit. I want somebody to make me plan my social media every month, and I want somebody there every single week to answer my questions. Then that's the Academy. That's the Academy. That is £99 a month, or as we're at the beginning of the year, I have an offer. You can buy a year and you get 10 months for the price of 12 months for the price of 10. That's right, isn't it? 12 months for the price of 10. So that's, some people know, they look at their business and they go, oh, this is going to take me a year to sort out. I'll take those 2 free months. And it's a good deal because often you know that there's going to be something's going to hit and you're getting 2 months free, so you don't have to worry about it. But just message me, we'll chat. It's a journey. The reason it's priced like this is so that you can buy one thing, earn some money, buy the next thing, earn some more money, come and buy the next thing. I would say be very careful right now. Be very careful who you buy stuff from. You don't have to buy from me. If I'm not right and I don't resonate with you, that's absolutely fine, because I don't want unhappy people. I give a money back guarantee anyway, but I don't want unhappy clients who don't my stuff won't work with. But be really careful in this time of slight costs of living crisis and all the rest of it. There are going to be people out there who are going to tell you that they have the strategy that will work. They have the healing that will work. This one thing that will work. They have the whatever, and that you have to invest in it. in order to show the universe that you are ready for your business to succeed. Please be very, very careful, because over and over again, people go off and do those, and then they come back to me 6 months later and they're like, oh, I'm now 2 grand down. I have even less money, and it wasn't right. And they are literally preying on you because unfortunately a lot of the beginnings of small businesses are vulnerable. You're desperately searching for solutions, and it's tough. I remember when I was there. I really do. And it is really tough, and you are vulnerable and you're looking for an answer. Often there isn't an answer. There isn't. Often it's a mixture of what you already know and consistency and focus and intuition. And sometimes you need someone else to bring you together. Yeah. Bring all of that together. But often there isn't a one answer. There isn't those things. It's a journey of healing, a journey of personal development, a journey of life, a journey of experience, of everything. That's what business is. And social media is a huge part of that journey, of that learning about yourself and delving deep inside. It really is. And for that, I'm really passionate about business. Really, really, I really am. I'm really excited about your businesses. But I'm really excited because most of you guys who are in the Businessmum Collective are the slightly overlooked, to be honest. Many of you don't have loads and loads of money. You're therefore overlooked by people who would prefer to work with someone. It's fine, it's their decision, who prefer to work with people with more money, and who don't understand the potential that I see in you. If you're watching this video, I see potential in you 100%, and I know that you can get it out of yourself. Some of you are going to find it next week, and some of you it's going to take a bit longer, but I know it's there 100%. And I'm really passionate about you guys getting it there, and I'm really passionate about you guys making a business that supports you, that fits into your lives, that doesn't leak, that doesn't become a great big monstrous thing. I don't want social media to become a great big monstrous thing. At the end of the day, right, you only need to post once a week, 3 times a week, right? That would be one tip, one testimonial, one poll or question. You could just do that on your profile, but you gotta have a plan. You can't just post random shit. Yeah, if you want to earn anything from it. Anyway, right, that's me done. There's no more questions, are there? I don't think so. No questions here. Right, anything else, just let me know. Put #replay, post a question, and I will come back. I'm going to be doing monthly training, so just ask. That's what we're here for. Love you all. Bye.